Hello friends, welcome to the channel JIB and CIB Made Simple. So in this lecture we are going to cover our ABM July 2024 recollected question with explanation. Friends, previous year question plays a very crucial role in knowing which chapter is most important from examination point of view, and that is what we are going to do in this particular lecture. Not only I will provide you the correct answer, also I will provide you explanation of each and every option, so that if any other question asked based on the same concept, you can easily answer them. So watch till the end of the video and gain your concept. See from which topic questions are most frequently asked, and we are going to see in the July 2024 which topic breakdown, module wise breakdown, module wise important breakdown. All these things I will share you at the last. So which module to study most, which module must to focus, which unit must to focus, all these things will be covered at the last after proper analyzing all the questions. So let's get started with the first question that we have. So the first question, as you can see, is regarding which of the following which of the following is true regarding the Reserve Bank of India guidelines to commercial bank and financial institution about the rules of about the use of the Lok Adalat, right? So there are four options given. First option says that the guidelines suggest that Lok Adalat for dues up to 10 lakh convened under the civil judiciary. So it mentions that Lok Adalat can be used for dues up to 10 lakh. This option seems too low because the RBI guideline have set the higher limit for using Lok Adalat. So this is incorrect. Option B says that the guidelines suggest using Lok Adalat for dues up to 20 lakh. So this is actually the correct answer. RBI has issued guideline that suggests that using Lok Adalat to settle cases with dues up to 20 lakh, which help in resolving a smaller dispute quickly. So the key point here is a smaller dispute. So a smaller dispute can be quickly resolved, right, without taking them through the long legal battle in the court. Option C says the guideline suggests that using Lok Adalat for dues up to 25 lakh. This is incorrect, right? And option D takes it even further to 50 lakh. So again, this is not what the RBI guideline recommends. So this is also incorrect. So the correct answer is option number B. Right. So remember, Lok Adalat can be used for settling dues for up to 20 lakh convened under the civil judiciary. And Lok Adalat are designed to help resolve dispute quickly, saving time and effort for both bank and borrower. So this is how we will do the breakdown of the remaining question. I will let you explain each and every options. Now let's move on to the next question that we have. See, this is the explanation part. Now in the next question it has been asked that in the context of VUCA environment, what does the C stand for? So this VUCA full form is very important. So let's break down the option. The first option says change. So while change is definitely a part of what a business face, but it is not C in the VUCA stand for. So this option is incorrect. Option B say complexity. Yes, this is the correct answer. So C stands for complexity, right, which refers to, what is the meaning of this complexity? It refers to the many interconnected factor business have to manage. So the business have to manage many interconnected factor, and one of them is complexity, right? So making decision making difficult. Now the next C is control. This is wrong. This is tempting because control can be something companies struggle with in chaotic environment, but again this is not the right word in this context, so this is wrong. And the last word is collaboration. Collaboration is important to the business environment, especially when things get complicated, but this is not what C stands for in VUCA. So which option is correct? Option number B is correct. Remember VUCA, let me tell you the complete acronym, this complete full form. So VUCA, V stand for volatility, right? U stand for uncertainty, and C stand for complexity, and the last A stand for what? Tell me. It stand for ambiguity, right? So you can treat this particular MCQ सेशन, आप इस MCQ सेशन को एक तरह से मॉक टेस्ट की तरह ट्रीट कर सकते हैं. सबसे पहले आप क्वेश्चन वीडियो को पॉज कीजिए, और जब भी मैं क्वेश्चन लाता हूँ वीडियो को पॉज कीजिए और पहले खुद से आंसर सुनिए और फिर मेरे एक्सप्लेनेशन को देखिए. दिस वे यू कैन ट्रीट लाइक अ मॉक टेस्ट. नाउ लेट मी मूव ऑन टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन है अच्छा, एक और चीज़ मैं बता दूं, वोलेटिलिटी. और वोलेटिलिटी का मीनिंग क्या होता है? व्हाट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ दिस वोलेटिलिटी? वोलेटिलिटी मीन्स द स्पीड एंड मीन्स दैट थिंग्स चेंजेस क्विकली एंड ऑफन अनएक्सपेक्टेडली. Uncertainty means difficulty in predicting what will happen next. Complexity, which is our correct answer, it's point to how different factors are interconnected, making it hard to see the big picture clearly. And the last is ambiguity, is all about the lack of clarity and the confusion over what event and trends mean. Now let's move on to the next question. The next question is, which of the following define an outlier in frequency table? So now we have four options given. Option says that outlier is a data point that appear most frequently in the data set. So but that is actually the definition of the mode, right? So the the data point that appear most frequently in the data set, this is the definition of mode. This is not the definition of outlier. So this is not correct. Option B says that a data point that is significantly different from other data point in the data set. So this define outlier as a data point that is significantly different from other data in the data set. This is the correct answer. Outlier are those points that are far off from the normal range of value and can have a big impact on how we analyze data. So this, I think, is correct. Option C says that it mentions the interquartile range. What is this interquartile range? This is called IQR. So this IQR is a measure of the spread of the middle 50% of the data. So it is a spread of middle 50% of the data, and the data point within this range are considered normal. So suppose this is the 50% data, 50% range of the data. So the data point within this 15% will be considered normal, not outlier. So this option C is also incorrect. So what we have told you, that outlier are those points that are far off from the normal range of value and can have a big impact on how we analyze data. Option D says that a data point that is equal to the median of the data set. So this C, median, what is the median? Median is the middle point. As the name suggests, median is the middle point. So median is the middle point of the data set, and it represents the center. It represents what? It represents the center. So an outlier is an extreme value. Again, I am telling you, it is not the middle value, it is the extreme value, right? So it is not the middle value. So this option is incorrect as well. So the correct answer is option number B. Let me simplify what an outlier is. See, try to understand. Imagine you have a list of number where most of the value are clustered around a certain range. So like suppose 10, 12, 15, and suddenly the number like 100. So suppose you have a list of number, okay, so the number 100 is much higher than the other, right? So it is an outlier because it does not fit in with the rest. See, this number 100 is called outlier. Why it is called outlier? Because it does not fit in with the rest, because all the number are nearby, 15, 12, 10, and one number you get is 100. So the outlier can occur for different reason, like an error in the data collection, or simply because data have some extreme value, and identifying them is super important because they can skew your analysis if you are not careful. रिमेंबर, याद रखिए, आउटलायर बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. जैसे कि आपके सामने डेटा सेट मैंने दे रखा है 10, 12, 15 और करके 100 दे रखा है, तो इस केस में 100 जो है वो हमारा आउटलायर कहलाएगा. 100 विल बी कॉल आउटलायर, राइट? तो यही हमारा ब्रेकडाउन है. दोस्तों, यदि आपको चीज़ें समझ में आ रही होंगी तो प्लीज़ हिट द लाइक बटन. इफ यू रियली फाउंड दिस एक्सप्लेनेशन यूजफुल, मेक श्योर टू लाइक, शेयर एंड सब्सक्राइब टू द चैनल. Now let's move on to the next question. The next question that we have is regarding which sampling technique involves selecting every nth element from a random start. So you can see the four options have been given. So we are going to talk about different sampling technique. Sampling is how we choose a smaller group from a larger population. We have a larger population and we want to choose a smaller group. So this is done via sampling, right? So let's dive into a common exam question about one of these technique, and there are four options which has been given. Option A is simple random sampling. So in simple random sampling, you can randomly pick people or element from a population, giving each one an equal chance of being selected. But in this case, we are talking about selecting every nth element, right? So this option is not correct. Systematic sampling, which is the correct answer. In the systematic sampling, you pick a random starting point and then choose every nth element after that. So it is an organized way. To ensure your sample is evenly spread across the population. Yes, it is correct. Option C says stratified sampling. So in stratified sampling, the population is divided into a small group which we call as strata. right? And so population is divided into a small group called strata, and then sample are randomly taken from each group. So suppose this is the big population, this is the bigger population, it is divided into a smaller group, and within this smaller group samples are randomly taken. So this is different from systematically selecting every nth element, so it is not the right choice. And option D says cluster sampling. See, cluster sampling, what happened, population is divided into clusters. See, this entire population in different cluster it is divided, and few cluster are randomly chosen from which all elements are selected. So this is also different from picking every nth element, so this is also incorrect, right? So the correct answer is option number B. So let me give you an example to make this concept more clear, right? See, this is how we make you clear each and every concept. So first thing, let me imagine you have a list of 100 people. You have a list of 100 people and you want to pick a sample of 10, right? So you first choose a random starting point, say third person. You choose the first random starting point, say the third person you have choose. आपने third person को choose किया, ठीक है? And then you select every 10th person after that. Like 13th you selected, like 23rd you selected, like 33rd you selected, and so on. This ensure that your sample is spread out across the entire list. So systematic sampling is quite easy to use when you have a large population and want to make sure your sample is well distributed. It is less random than simple random sampling, but still provide a good way to avoid biasness, right? So that is breakdown of the systematic sampling. It is really an efficient way to select sample in an organized manner. If you really found this explanation useful, I again request you, please hit the like button. This will motivate me to make more such and such content. Now let's move on to the next question. Friend, if you are interested to get content of anything related to ABM, we have already started ABM crash course, which is a very unique course for the last 2 month preparation of ABM. And in this crash course you will get daily based videos, daily based theory content, and daily MCQ practices in the form of quizzes, right? And also we have shortened down the syllabus into important topics, and I provide you micro notes related to that in this particular crash course, so that you should focus on those things which we provide. In the short span of time you will be able to cover the entire syllabus. First month we will cover the most important topic, and in the next month we will look over the rest topic. This is how we will cover our ABM crash course. And if you are interested in our ABM crash course, you can WhatsApp me on this particular number to get more detail. Now let's move on to this particular question. So this question says that I think I missed this question. Yeah, which of the following best describe the role of human resource development in an organization? Right, very good question it is. So we are talking about the role of HRD in an organization. So see, option A says ensuring compliance with the legal regulation. See, while ensuring legal compliance is a part of the broader HR function, right? But it is not the main responsibility. This is not the main responsibility of HRD. HRD is more focused on developing employee. Right, HRD is more focused on developing employee, so the option is not the best fit. Option B says managing financial resources effectively. So this sound more like the role of finance department. HRD is more about people, not managing money. Option C says enhancing employee skill and competencies. Yes, this is the correct answer. The main goal of HRD is to help employee improve their skill, learn new things, grow in their role through training and development program. It is all about making sure employees are equipped to perform their job effectively and help the organization succeed. Option D says improving customer service operation. See, HRD might indirectly influence customer service by helping employee improve their skill. This is not their direct role. So the right answer is option number C. So human resource department focus on helping employee grow. HRD involve things like training program, talent management, career development initiative. So the goal is to make sure that employee have the skill and knowledge they need to succeed in their job, which in turn help the company grow. So by investing in employee, by investing in organization, by investing in employee, this organization can stay competitive and improve employee satisfaction. So and there you have it, right? So HRD is all about developing people, helping them grow, and ensuring that they have the skill that they need to contribute to the company's success. So that is what have been explained in this particular question. Now let's move on to the next question. Very good question it is. What does the coefficient of correlation value of minus 0.96 indicate about the relationship between variable? Right, so let's go through the option. First thing says weak negative relationship. So see, a value close to minus 0.96 indicate a strong relationship, not a weak one. This option is incorrect. No relationship. So see, a coefficient of minus 0.96 is far from 0, And 0, you know, 0 means that it is indeed a relationship between, so it means that it is indeed a relationship. So this option is also incorrect. A strong but negative relationship, yes. The value of minus 0.96 is closer to minus 1, which indicate a very strong relationship, and obviously it is negative 1. So this means as one variable increases, the order decreases in a very consistent and strong manner. And option D says a strong but positive relationship. Since the value is negative, it indicates a negative relationship, not a positive one. So this option is also incorrect, right? So the correct answer is option number C. See, try to understand this value of R. It moves from minus 1 to plus 1, right? Let me give you a little bit theory. And if the value is minus 1, it indicates perfect negative negative correlation, right? So if the value is negative, it indicates perfect negative linear relationship, right? Perfect negative linear relationship. And if the value is plus 1, it indicate perfect positive linear relationship. And you can see the value of minus 0.96 is somewhat closer to minus 1, meaning that there is a strong negative correlation. This means that as one variable grows, because see, we are discussing correlation, so there will be two variable will be there, right? So one variable increases, right? So the other variable goes down, and this relationship is quite strong. So that is a wrap up on understanding correlation coefficient. Hopefully this concept is clear now. Let's move on to our next question. The next question says that given the standard deviation of that data set is 8 and the coefficient of variation is 10%, what is the arithmetic mean of the data set? Very good question. See, first of all, what is coefficient of variation? That is called CV. CV is defined as the ratio of the standard deviation to the mean of the data set expressed as a percentage, right? So here you can see a standard deviation they have given is 8, the mean they have the CV they have given is 10%, right? So you have to calculate the mean. So how to do that? So you have to just substitute the value. So in the place of CV I will write 10, in the place of SD I will write 8, mu just write mu because you have to find it, and now you just calculate it. So if you move this 100 to this side, you will get 8 by mu is equal to 0.1, or you can say mu is equal to 8 divided by 0.1, which is equal to 80, right? So there the arithmetic mean is 80. Option number C is the correct answer. So you have to remember this particular formula related to the coefficient of variation. Remember it. This formula is very super important. Now you can see from this one thing is quite clear. They are asking question from each and every line of the Macmillan book. So going through this line of Macmillan book is quite important. And what we have done in our crash course is that we have divided our syllabus into two portion. In the first portion, पहले portion में हम लोग जो important topics है उसे cover करेंगे. We will cover the most important topic from where question have been asked in the last 3 paper, right? And then after we will shift our focus to less important topic. This way we will give more importance to the important topic and less important to the less important topic, right? If you want to enroll, please WhatsApp me on this particular number. Now let's move on to the next question. Which of the following statement accurately describe the requirement for compliance certification by overseas branch? Very good question. See, overseas branch, option A says that overseas branch must submit a quarterly compliant certificate to the compliance department corporate office confirming adherence to the local law, statutory and regulatory guideline. See, this is the first option. So this states that overseas branch must submit a quarterly compliance certificate. While this suggests regular submission, the exact timing and recipient detail are not quite right. So this option is incorrect. Option B says that the compliance certificate must be sent from chief executive of the center to the compliance department and the international department HO within 5 days of the end of each month. Yes, this is the correct answer. Remember, the compliance certificate must be sent by the chief executive CEO of the center to both the compliance department and the international department at head office within 5 days at the end of each month. So this is accurate as it reflects the requirement for timely submission and specify the exact timing and recipient. So this option is correct. What does option C say? Option C says that compliance certificate confirming adherence to the local law must be submitted annually by the overseas branch to the compliance department and HO. So it suggests annual submission of compliance certificate. However, the standard practice is to submit this certificate more frequently to ensure continuous adherence to law and guidelines. So this option is also incorrect. Right? Now option D says that compliance certificate are only submitted upon request. That to submit compliance certificate to the compliance department upon request. So this is less proactive and does not align with the standard requirement where regular and timely submission are expected. So the right answer is option B. The compliance certificate must be sent from chief executive of the center to compliance department and the international department. So remember, if you summarize the fact, to summarize the compliance, the overseas branch must ensure that their compliance certificate which confirm adherence to the local law and guidelines are sent on a monthly basis. Remember, the key word is monthly basis, right? And second thing is that this ensure that the head office remain informed and compliant with the regulatory requirement. And that's how compliance certification work for overseas branch, right? Now let's move on to our next question, right? Let's switch to the next question. The next question says that when describing samples using measures like mean, median and mode and standard deviation, these terms are referred to, right? So we are going to clarify a key concept in statistics related to describing sample using measures like mean, median and mode and standard deviation. Let's dive into what these terms are called when they describe a sample. So option A says symbol. See, while symbol are used in statistics, they don't specifically refer to the measure like mean or standard deviation. So this option is not correct. Second option says parameter. Parameter are used to describe entire population. Remember, this parameter is used to describe the entire population, right? पूरे population को ये दर्शाता है, not just samples, but we are referring here samples, right? So for example, let me give you an example. So the mean of the entire population is called parameter. So suppose this is our population and its mean is this, so this mean is called a parameter, right? So this option does not apply here since we are focusing on sample. Clearly written while describing sample using measures like mean. So this is also incorrect. Next thing is probability. Probability is about measuring the likelihood of an event happening, not about the summarizing data. What we are doing here, we are summarizing data, right? So probability is incorrect, parameter is incorrect, symbol is incorrect. Last option says statistics. Yeah, correct. When we describe a sample using measures like mean, median and mode and standard deviation, these are called statistics. This term refers to measures that summarize or describe characteristics of a sample as opposed to population. I have already told you, in statistics, measures like mean, median, mode, standard deviation, when applied to describe a sample, they are called statistics, right? See, for population, these things are called parameter. If suppose in place of sample here written population, what would be the answer? The answer would be parameter, but here sample is written. So for sample it is called statistics. Remember, this is quite very important question, right? So that's the scoop on descriptive measure in statistics, right? So friends, as you can see, next question is regarding a branch has 90 officer with an average salary of $7 lakh, 60 clerk with an average salary of $50,000 and 30 sub staff with an average salary of $2,50,000. What is the average salary of the branch? Right. So how to calculate the average salary? So simply first calculate the total salary of each group. So there are 90 officer and $7 lakh is their salary. So just multiply 7 lakh with 90, right? So if you do that, you will get 6 crore 30 lakh. Okay, now for clerk, you calculate the total salary. How much will it be? So 60 multiplied by 50,000. So how much it will be? This will be, I think, 30 lakh. Now if you calculate the same for sub staff, how many sub staff are there? 30 sub staff are there and 2,50,000. So it is 775 lakh, right? Now you calculate the total number of employee, 90 officer, 60 clerks and 30 sub staff. So add all of them, so it will give you 150. Okay, and you also add all of them. So you know average salary of branch will be how much? What will be the formula? The formula would be total salary of branch, टोटल सैलरी ऑफ ब्रांच का जो टोटल सैलरी है वो नॉमिनेटर में डालेंगे और टोटल नंबर ऑफ एम्प्लॉय को डिनोमिनेटर में डालेंगे। टोटल नंबर ऑफ एम्प्लॉय को हम लोग डिनोमिनेटर में डालेंगे।